Today is October 2nd, and as many of you are aware, the war situation is escalating very dramatically, very dangerously. Iran has retaliated for the Israeli assassination of Hezbollah leader Nasrallah, whom the Israelis said, contrary to the idiotic comments by both Biden, Kamala Harris, and Jared Kushner, that this was not in self-defense, but the reason Nasrallah had to be eliminated was that he refused to cut a deal without also including a ceasefire. He was standing in solidarity with the people of Palestine and Gaza and the West Bank, where you now have an escalation of bloodshed as well, thanks to the murderous Bibi Netanyahu. So therefore, Israel decided to eliminate him. It was not in self-defense, and it could not be done without the United States. Then you have the situation vis-a-vis Russia, Ukraine, where Putin announced, as I reported, a new nuclear doctrine, which is that if Russia is attacked, even using conventional weapons, by a non-nuclear nation, i.e. Ukraine, but Ukraine is backed by a nation with nuclear weapons, i.e. the US, the UK, or NATO as a whole, that Russia reserves the right to retaliate with nuclear weapons. This is extremely dangerous. And many people think it all has to do with the upcoming US elections, that Biden promised that he was going to destroy Russia or blow up the world or something or other. And he has to get it done before Trump comes in and cuts off the weapons to Ukraine. Although I have to say the Trump policy toward Israel is terrible. So is it all about the elections? No, I think there's something bigger than the US elections, and this is what it is. Coming up on October 22nd through 24th is the BRICS Summit in Kazan, Russia. And I'm showing you here the poster for it. I presume that's the city of Kazan, although I have to tell you, I didn't look it up to find out if that's Kazan, but there it is. And let me show you a couple other things. This is from a summit that was held, I think back in February, on energy, BRICS nations and energy. But I just want to read this to you. February 2nd. Since oil-producing nations like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Iran joined the BRICS cooperation mechanism, the BRICS countries' effect on the global energy market has attracted significant attention. The director of the BRICS Research Center at the University of International Business and Economics, Lan Qingqin, has been invited to share his unique perspective and thought on this topic. Lan Qingqin analyzed the important position of BRICS countries in the global energy market. I would say so, with the UAE, Iran, and Saudi Arabia all involved, as well as Russia, China, India, etc. Now, what else is going on with the BRICS? Well, here is their 8th meeting of the ministers of industry held in Nizhny Novgorod, Russia. This was in August, I believe. And in case you don't recognize who all of these individuals are, I certainly don't. I got the list. Here they are. The meeting was chaired by Alichanov, Minister of Industry and Trade of Russia, the BRICS chair for 2024. That's right, Russia is the chair of the BRICS this year. Attendees included, now as I name off these countries, why don't you think about how big these countries are? What are their scientific capabilities? China, Brazil, India, South Africa, Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, Iran, Ethiopia, and senior representatives from the United Nations Industrial Development Organization and the Eurasian Economic Union. The meeting reviewed and adopted the joint declaration of the 8th BRICS Ministers of Industry meeting and reached broad consensus on promoting the construction of the new Industrial Revolution Partnership, deepening industrial policy exchanges in key areas such as new industrialization, SMEs, which are small and medium enterprises, and industrial and supply chains. Now, before I go on, I just a minute ago filmed a video on the situation in North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, the path of the Hurricane Helene. Think about the third world-ish quality, the sorry state of American industry, and then think of these nations, China with 1.4 billion people, India with more people than China, robust space program. China just went to the far side of the moon, collecting samples, sending them back, landing on Mars. These are advanced nations, and they are going to modernize industry, and they're going to lift billions of people out of poverty. In the United States, we are putting hundreds of thousands and millions of Americans into poverty while we destroy people overseas. Think about it. Now, let me go back. So remember what I started with. The BRICS meeting is in Kazan, Russia, October 22nd through 24th. That's less than 3 weeks away. Do you think some people in the British Empire want to blow up the world before we get to that? Let's look at a map. And here we have a map which shows you where here is Israel, the West Bank, Gaza. Okay, there should be a Palestinian state here as well. We have to recognize Palestine as a state. Let's see here. Here's Iran. Okay, here's Syria, Lebanon. So you have Israel trying to wage war in southern Lebanon. Think about the new nations who have joined the BRICS recently. Saudi Arabia, I'm not sure they're fully in, but I guess they're coordinating in the energy structure, at least according to that article. So Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iran, down farther south, Ethiopia, United Arab Emirates. Do you think this might have something to do with why certain people may have allowed or not prevented the October 7th attacks to occur, and why Israel was encouraged to go absolutely full genocidal mode? Perhaps there are plans afoot to disrupt the coming into being of a new order, which is in contrast to the bankrupt Anglo-American order. So that's what we're looking at. Now, let me just show you this tactic of what was called Schrecklichkeit in German, terror, war and terror. Look at this. This is the bombs, I should say. I heard Judge Napolitano say today that we supplied Israel with enough ammunition that they dropped 167,000 pounds of bombs. So how many 2,000-pound bombs and other bombs on apartment buildings to kill one person? And I just want to keep reiterating, so this was all done, 1,000 civilians killed to get one person who wasn't even killed in self-defense, but was killed because he would not stop trying to stand up for the people of Gaza. And what is this? Why do people justify that kind of carnage and damage? It's absolutely hideous. Now, I heard an interview on Kim Iverson of an Israeli Defense Forces soldier, because we all hear, well, you know, the Israelis are so humane. They drop leaflets on people before they bomb them. You know, if you're a double amputee in a hospital, it's really great to get a leaflet that tells you you're going to be bombed in 15 minutes because you can just get up and walk away, I guess. What the IDF soldier said is, he said, yeah, it's very unusual. No one else in the world drops leaflets on civilians to let them know they're going to be bombed. No other army in the world bombs apartment buildings and hospitals and kindergartens. That is unique to the humane Israeli Defense Forces. So please bear in mind that the horror that we are seeing is very likely a preemption, an attempt to preempt what is going to be happening October 22nd through 24th at the BRICS summit in Kazan, something which the United States should be supporting instead of trying to destroy.